Welcome back to Coffee with the Wolves, presented by JJC Athletics. I'm Damian Dennis, and joined this week again by Tom Welsh of women's volleyball. Tom, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Jamie. I'm glad to be back.
We're in a little bit of a different location for this recording. Decided to come down to the gym here at the JJC Event Center. Uh, do not have coffee in the gym.
Do not know.
So, another coffeeless episode of
Right.
Coffee with the
I
Wolves.
feel like that's a trend nowadays, but that's okay.
It's been a trend since the beginning. But we're here to catch up once more on your season so far. I believe I just looked at the schedule earlier. Could be wrong, but 8-16 on the season.
8-16, yep, played this weekend the Region 4 crossover tournament out at Wabanzi. We were the only D3 school to play there, so it was a lot of good competition for us. We went 1-3. Should have gone 2-2, but still learning, growing as a team. So overall, pretty positive weekend, I would say, for us. We played really well in all four matches, and just need to clean up a few things.
Right. So how do you kind of really get back on the right track here? 8-16. There's still a lot of the season left at this point. I think you guys play more than every other team in the fall, so
Yep.
you've got plenty of chances, kind of correct course still. But how do you get to that correction?
Yeah, I think it started this weekend. Honestly, we had a really, really good week of practice, which we haven't had in a while. We've played pretty much nonstop. We had 3 practices in 2 weeks before this week, so we had 3 consecutive practices, which then led to a really positive weekend. We should have gone 2-2, like I said. The only reason why was just our mistakes. We kept making errors at crucial times, and we can't do that. But I think that our performance this weekend and the way that we played, our attitudes, our effort was really good, and I think that's hopefully the start of something good and some change. I really love this team. I love all the energy that we bring. I love the attitudes, the grit that we have. We just need to translate that into positive volleyball plays.
Right. Some of those errors, what were some of them that you seen over the weekend, and how do you kind of coach your team out of those?
A lot of them are hitting errors. We're being aggressive, which is something that we want the girls to be. We'd rather, you know, miss out on points being aggressive rather than giving teams easy free balls or tips or roll shots for them to come back and use against us. So a lot of them are hitting errors. Missed serves are a big issue for us. We're tops in the country in missed serves, but we're also tops in the country in aces. So it's kind of a give and take. It's really evening itself out there. The errors that we can't control, the errors that are bad for us are communication errors that we're still trying to work through and stuff like that. And I think that we've done a good job the past week or so of cleaning that up. And I think a lot of it just comes from reps and being active in practice and being active during games to make sure that we're trying to call the ball and make sure we don't have those communication mishaps.
Yeah. What are some positives you can take away from the weekend? Again, went 1-3. Someone might look at that and be like, "Oh, what the heck?"
Yeah.
But you've said like, I saw some good things. I saw some improvement. What were some of those things you've seen?
Yeah, so our first match of the weekend was against McHenry County. They were 10-1 entering the weekend. They were 15th in the country for D2 teams, so they were a very good competition, and we stuck with them every single set. Our first set we faltered a little bit, but 2 and 3 we had leads in the 20s, and just young mental mistakes kind of cost us both sets. But we hung with them entirely. Our second loss against Olive Harvey, which is something that we're not happy about, but it went to 5 sets. It could have gone either way. We looked really dominant in the second and third set, and then the fourth and fifth set we just couldn't execute. And then our win against Elgin was a dominant win. We swept them. We took care of business. We did really good things, on the communication side, offensive side. And then our last match against Carl Sandburg, which is another powerhouse in the D2, they were, I believe, 12-2, 13-3 entering the weekend. We took them to 4, and we were with them in every single set, and we, should have probably forced a fifth set, but I think we just got a little tired. It was a long break that we had, so there were a lot of things that contributed to what happened. But overall, I mean, when you compete against two of the top teams in Division Two, I think that's a really good start.
That's been kind of a theme this season for you too. Facing a lot of not just D2 opponents, but highly ranked D2 opponents. Uh, how does that really impact your performance?
I think it. I mean, I'm the type of person that I would rather face these tough competitions and lose in tough battles than play some of the easier teams and just stack up wins just to have the wins. Like I believe that our matches against the top D2 teams, the top D3 teams, even when we played at COD, really will prepare us for October and for hopefully a run at nationals if we can get to that point. But I really believe that setting us up against these teams is really just going to make it better and make it easier for us to go into these tough matches in October and realize, hey, we can hang with these teams. Hey, we can even beat these teams, and we just need to do so.
Yeah. Uh, let's talk a little bit about some of your student athletes. I've had you on. I think this what third time
Hmm.
now. So we had you on before the season, already a few weeks back. At this point, who are some of the student athletes on your team who are kind of taking the next step? They're kind of getting to that place, maybe where you want them to be, or
Hmm.
even further ahead.
Yeah, I think, we'll start with our middles. Monica Jerk, our captain, she's been kind of our mainstay. She had a little bit of a drought around the COD tournament, but she's really picked it back up. Our other middle, Aubrey Phillips, who's going to be on the show next with you. She's third in the country in kills right now. She's really huge. It seems to be she's double digit kills in every single match now. She is our spark plug. She is our offense, so we love to utilize her. Haley Dunn, our freshman setter, has been really stepping up as well. She had a career high in assists the other day with 33, so she's been really good. And then our two sophomore liberos, Natalie Martinez and Lily Broderick, have been phenomenal defensively. So we've had a lot of girls step up. Now we're just continuing to add to that list of people that are stepping up rather than when it was just our middles early on.
Yeah. Because this show comes out on Friday every week, I kind of want to look ahead. Just kind of like who's coming up on the schedule that you have maybe circled, like, hey, this is whether it's a match that you think could really test your team,
Hmm.
or maybe just one where there's some sort of level factor to it that has you excited about the matchup.
Yeah, we have Kankakee on Tuesday. They were before entering the crossover tournament. They were 8-1, so that'll be a good test for us at home. I'm excited to kind of see how we handle them after playing a really really good team and Carl Sandburg and taking a set from them and playing them very competitively. So I'm excited to see if our energy, our effort, and all that stuff can translate and come here and play at home. We have uh, a revenge match, I want to call it, against IVCC on Friday this week. They came in here on our first official home match and took us to five and beat us. And if it wasn't for, mental mistakes and some errors that here and there, we would have had them under control. But we kind of beat ourselves there. So I'm excited to see how we respond to them. They played a great match against us, and we need to understand that we kind of have a reputation of teams want to come and they want to beat us, and we need to live up to that reputation.
How do you get over the hump and start beating them now?
I think a lot of it's confidence, especially with the girls, with coaching staff, with everybody. It's just believing that we can, and we have a track record now of doing it. We beat Harper, which was a very tough match. We hung with the top teams, McHenry, with Carl Sandburg. We just need to get over that hump, like you said, and I think confidence for the team is a huge starting point. I think if we enter with confidence and show that we can maintain it, I think we'll be okay.
All right. And last question for you, Tom, but we'll end on a little bit of a happier note. How's the baby?
Baby's good. 2 months now has passed. She is sleeping better. Me, not so much, but that's okay. Uh, she went the other night with 6 hours in between feedings, which was nuts. Never had that happen before yet. So she's doing good. Starting to see a little bit more personality, and I'm excited to get her. She attended the tournament for two sets on Saturday, so she saw her first volleyball match.
Getting her started early.
Exactly, getting her started early. She came down with mom and grandpa, so she was able to stay for a little bit, and then they left because she was being fussy.
Yeah.
But hopefully to get her out here a couple times. I know my wife wants to bring her out, so hopefully we'll get her out. But she's doing good. She's one of the few people that doesn't yell at me right now, so I enjoy spending a lot of time with her when I can.
Well, just wait because they get a little bit older and they'll start yelling at you
I,
too.
you know,
It's usually about nonsense, but
yeah. Well, that's every woman in my life. That seems to be the point there. So.
all right. Well, Tom, I appreciate you coming back on the show. We have Aubrey coming up next. Uh, yeah, see you next time.
Thank you, Damien. Appreciate it.
And next up here on Coffee with the Wolves, I have Aubrey Phillips. Aubrey, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Your first time here on Coffee with the Wolves. Pretty much for everyone in the fall season right now, it's their first time other than the coaches.
Yep.
But have you ever been interviewed on a podcast or by a journalist, anything like that?
I was interviewed once in high school, and it was kind of just like a written thing. So.
Yeah. Journalists have their
Yeah.
phone or a recorder in front of your face. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've done that a lot. So this one, obviously a little bit different. We're on camera, but not live.
Yeah.
But we're going to start letting the viewers get to know you a little bit. So you're a member of the JJC volleyball team. Tell us a little bit about, your major here at JJC and what really kind of led to you coming here.
Well, I didn't really think that I was going to play volleyball initially, and then a bunch of people in my life were like, you need to play volleyball because why wouldn't you? So I was just kind of looking at my options, looking what was close. I wanted to go to a junior college first because I don't really have like a declared major yet, so I'm just getting an associate in arts, and then I'll declare a major after when I transfer wherever I decide to go.
Cool. You got back. You're here playing volleyball. What really led you to just JJC in terms of the volleyball aspect?
I liked that it was really close to home. I had a girl on my club team, her sister was playing here. I think last year she actually graduated, so it was like I knew a couple people who had been through the program, and I'd heard great things about it, so I kind of figured that maybe I'd give it a shot.
Did you try out for the team, or did Tom or
I reached out really late, and then he was like, oh, well, we have a spot for one middle. So I was like, perfect, can I have it?
That's funny. Interviewed, I believe, women. I think it was women's soccer last week, and Tegan had said the same thing.
Mhm.
I took a break from soccer, and I reached out.
Yeah.
So the opposite, you recruited the coach.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, you made the team.
Yeah.
How did that conversation with Tom go?
I emailed him, and then he was like, yeah, we have a spot for middle. You can come and we'll have a phone call, and then you can come meet the girls, come visit the campus and see how that goes. And I was like, okay. And then I did. I think it was literally 3 days later on a Sunday. I just kind of showed up for one of the practices, and the rest is history. So.
Cool. Let's talk a little bit about this season. You were sitting nearby as I asked Tom all these same questions, but you're sitting 8-16 right now, not quite where the team wants to be.
No.
So I guess your thoughts and feelings on kind of like that record and where you're sitting right now.
I think like every single game that we've lost, we know that we could have won it, and I think that part is the part that gets us like really frustrated, but it's motivation to continue to practice and continue to get better because we know like, hey, we might see most of these teams again. We might as well, like, next time we see them, show them what we could have been early on.
And Tom had mentioned, you're number 3 in the nation in kills, only 6 behind the leading, person in that stat. How does that feel for you? Especially considering you weren't even recruited. You recruited JJC, so you show up and then you're among the nation's best.
Yeah, it feels good. It's good to know that hard work pays off. I definitely think that I have worked for what I have. I'm really proud of myself. It's not like I can do this in my sleep. It's more like it's happening.
That's cool. Let's talk a little bit about team chemistry. I've only attended one of your matches. I don't even remember which one. It was on the 13th. It was that try match.
The try match, yeah.
But, a lot of energy between you and your teammates. You guys really seem to all get along. How did that chemistry really get built, and how are you guys using that as you prepare to just keep moving further into the season and correct course in terms of wins and losses?
It was like really early on. Everybody has their own personality, and I don't think that anybody hides anything from anybody. We're all just it's like an amalgamation of everybody on the team, and there's 19 of us, so it's loud and there's a lot of us, but it's really everybody. It's like a family. Everybody loves each other. We joke a lot. We talk a lot. There's never like a silent moment ever, I don't think. And I think it translates on the court pretty well for the most part. There's a couple times where like if we're tired or we get frustrated, then it's not the greatest. But we're pretty good at bouncing back and
Yeah.
being positive all the time with
How,
each other.
how do you guys, as a team, kind of lift each other up if one person on the team is maybe feeling, like you said, tired or just exhausted in some respect? How do the rest of you kind of step in and maybe either help them get back to that level or maybe help them ma- compensate for it?
hmm Everybody's got like their own ways of. Some people just go quiet. Some people like need somebody to be like, "Hey, you're good. You can do this." Other people just need like a break sometimes. Everybody's pretty good at like, "Hey, are you okay?" checking in and like if you need anything from me, I can give it to you. It's like a pretty good support system, I think.
Yeah. What do you make of Tom's coaching style? I know he's sitting over here, so but feel free to grill him if you wish.
I like it feels like every other coach that I've had has been like more I don't want to say professional, but it feels very like he's a friend.
Yeah.
He's a friend, but I know that he's my coach, but he's looking out for all of us and he wants the best for all of us and it's not just you're doing a job for me and then no other relationship outside of that. It's
Yeah,
more like he wants the best for all of us and we all know that.
that's cool. What do you like most about playing here at JJC? I always mention it when I ask that sort of question. Just like this building's awesome.
It is. It is. I really like the facilities here.
Yeah.
I like that it's really close to my house because I have quite a few people that want to come watch me, and
Mm,
it's not like I'm states away. Like I'm 30 minutes away from my house, so they're like, "We'll come to the home games,"
that's
and it's
awesome.
nice to be able to have them come watch me still.
Yeah. So I asked Tom this question, but who do you have maybe on the schedule circled that kind of a match you're looking forward to participating in
hmm
coming up? And it could be a little bit different for you because being local, maybe one of your old teammates from high school or a
hmm
club team is on one of those other teams or an old rival even.
hmm
Is there any kind of matches you have scheduled that or on the schedule that you have circled that you're just like, I'm excited for this
hmm
one?
We play College of DuPage again next week, I think, and then Harper in the same week. So I'm really excited to go back for both of those because we beat Harper the first time. I'm hoping we'll do it again. I think we can. And then I'm excited to see College of DuPage again because we played them kind of early on, and I think that like with practices last week and the way that the last weekend went, I feel like we've got the stuff. We can put up a good fight this time.
What's one of your favorite things about playing volleyball?
I don't know. I've met so many people through it. I really like the personalities of all the people that I've met. I like how competitive it is.
Yeah.
I'm a really competitive person. It's hard for me to like, oh, I got to kill. I get excited.
Yeah.
And the whole thing that with me playing is like I'm out. I'm out to kill. I'm playing to kill like
Such a weird thing to hear. Well, Aubrey, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time, but good luck, with the rest of the
Thank you.
season. Maybe we'll have you on again. A lot of the coaches have been doing this thing where and it's great, but they bring a new student athlete
hmm
each time they come on. So
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll see you again, but maybe we'll see.
Thanks for having me.
Once again, you've been watching Coffee with the Wolves. We'll be back next week.